Welcome back to another episode of ARU Reads Reddit. And this time we've got something super spooky and we are going to be talking about haunted halls. And today I have got the best guest to talk about this subject with us. And if you'd like to introduce yourself.
So my name's Atticus. I'm the Tenancy Support Manager at ARU. So I oversee wellbeing events at our uni for students to meet other students, make friends. And I also help students in the private sector as well. So that would be finding accommodation or helping them with any incidents or disputes that occur within their private sector accommodation.
So my name's Stuart. I'm the Tenancy Support Officer. Much like Atticus, I help students in the private sector, specifically in Cambridge, but I'm more than happy to dabble in other campuses. We provide a lot of support to students transitioning, into the big scary world of private housing. But we can also, get you in touch with friends. We organise events for you. It's really good fun.
Amazing, thank you. And I'm Ellen and I'll be hosting today's episode. So the first Reddit post that's come up, a little bit scary, just reading the title in itself. Is our flatmate a ghost? So someone has genuinely written this in and they've said, I think our flatmate is avoiding us. I've only seen this guy twice and he cooks so late. I don't know if he's doing this on purpose to avoid us. What can I do to try and help him feel at ease? Now, not the kind of ghost I was expecting, but being ghosted, or is he avoiding us? I mean, what do you think when I first read that out?
Well, that's super common in university. Where you come here, it can be a wee bit intimidating, and you kind of can make your own shelter in your room. I was that ghost at one point, but much like Casper, I'm quite friendly. And what helped me approach my flatmates was they just knocked on my door. They said, Stuart, we're going to the Freshers' Fair, we're going to Students' Union. Would you like to come? Try that approach with them. Make them feel a part of the flat, but don't force them into it too. Let them come at their own time. Let them know about, free events. Like we said before, we do tons of stuff. We do free pumpkin carving, postcard and Polaroid, and stress again is free. So invite them along to that, get to them a wee bit.
Yeah, and this year we're also we're giving everyone sort of name tags, like that's the sort you have normally on like a hotel to say clean or don't clean, except it's sort of a hi, my name is, so you can write your name and leave it on there so you can sort of get to know each other passively as well in your own time.
Amazing. And thank you for sharing that story about yourself as well. I mean, when people knocked on the door and introduced themselves to you, and even if you didn't go out, how did that make you feel?
At first, terrified. But I was really glad for the opportunity because I don't think I would have myself. So if you ever feel like anyone's in that situation, try to make that a wee attempt for them. These are friends for life that you're going to make, or at the end of the day, they're at least people are going to be sharing a space there for at least a year. So it's really important to make that wee effort for them. And for me, it changed my whole university experience. So give it a wee go.
Do you think as well, given that some of the courses that we run at ARU, there might be that some of the students might actually be on placements and things like that too? Is that ever something that's come up? People being concerned because someone's suddenly vanished from their halls, but actually their placement's just on a night shift?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, so it could be placements if you're with nursing or another medical degree. I don't think the placements should be taking place straight away in September. To the best of my knowledge, but you never know. Students might have arrived and then started a job straight away as well, which could have unsocial hours. So when you do bump into each other, just smile and then see if a conversation starts.
And of course, if you've got concerns about it too, one of the best parts of ARU is we just have the most fantastic wellbeing service, and you generally can come speak to us and if you feel like you've got concerns for this person, you haven't seen them, if they're acting odd like the late night cooking, let us know, and we're more than happy to get involved, anonymously.
Yeah.
You could also mention it to the residential assistant as well, if you're in our own accommodation.
What happens if they were actually a ghost?
Well, I think, how qualified are we to answer that question?
Have you ever had that happen before? Someone's been like, oh, I'm concerned, there's a thing where we are haunted.
We kind of haven't. There's always been, university's fantastic because it's just a mixture of cultures and people. And different people react to things differently. So, for example, not everyone knows that a house needs to set off the pipes. They'll just hear banging in the wall.
Yeah.
And the fun we are saying, like, there's rats creeping for the water. They're not, it's just water. But I don't think we've had any paranormal activity yet.
I've been here a little bit longer than Stuart, and we actually have, but we're very kind about it. We have, I think maybe it's happened twice the entire time I've been here. And of course, people have different beliefs, but we have had students who have sort of felt a presence. And whether I personally I personally maybe don't believe in that. But we still sort of let them move rooms, and then they were happy, we were happy. It wasn't difficult to do that. So yeah, so it was a happy compromise. And then they weren't unhappy with their next rooms. So but that doesn't mean if you don't like your room, you can't just say ghosts.
Yeah,
because we'll realise, we'll work it out.
Could you imagine limitations to it? But I think the main thing is that you're very supportive and want people to feel comfortable in their surroundings.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Yeah, regardless of whether that's something that's really apparent or something that is just a feeling or a sense of security and safety. I think that's a really positive thing that's taken seriously and taken on board. Just following on the comments from this one, so 2 people have responded to this, and someone said, wait outside his door and just say, we're chill people, come hang out with us. I mean, as blunt as that, I think it might work.
It's an approach.
Yeah, it is an approach. Straight to the point. And someone else has put, or just one of us. One of us. I don't know if that's done in a very chanted way. I'm not quite sure on that one. But I think you've summarised that perfectly. I think that person, they might be more scared of their hallmates and their new surroundings and just adapting to that. So just going at everyone's pace, I think, is something to take away from this.
Yeah. It's you don't have to socialise immediately on arrival. You can ease yourself into it, because it'll be a big change from sort of familial homes. For example, living suddenly with hundreds of other people your age.
The next one is a bit of me. I love this one. So I am addicted on YouTube and on Instagram, whatever it is, watching people turn over their really boring looking accommodation rooms and turn them into something magical. And this one, I think, kind of goes along this line a little bit. So my roommate and I are too poor to go out right now. My roommate and I are too poor right now to go all out with decorations, but we love Halloween. So on the theme of Halloween, how can this person decorate? But also beyond that, like, how could they decorate their room, make it a bit more homely when they come to ARU?
Well, specifically for this month, if you come to our aforementioned pumpkin carving event, you get to keep your carved pumpkin after, so you could have that on your desk, but maybe put it on a little kitchen towel or something, because eventually you don't want to have it on your desk for too long.
Yeah. Quite a few ideas, really. I mean, don't clean up the cobwebs, add to the you're more welcome to bring your own furnishing, cushions, rugs, maybe go to Next and get some themed bedding.
Nice.
There's always like crafty things going on at the SU. Like Atticus mentioned, come on down there. It's always something you can take away to decorate the room with. Gosh,
we do have the notice boards as well, so
quite a lot of space.
Have to be careful about what you attach to the walls, because we don't want to mark the walls or take the paint off, but we do also have big notice boards in each room, and you can put whatever you want on there as well. So that could be fairy lights or posters. You could print things off at the library, all sorts.
Because if it comes to checkout and the paint's coming off the wall, that's a real nightmare. So try not to do that. I mean, even if you're staying in together, the ARU library isn't just books. You can get DVDs. There's a big database online where you can watch a little spooky film together. There's so many things that the uni can provide you for free that you can kind of get cozy pals and do.
I'd probably get a smart lamp or a smart bulb and a lamp on the desk, and change the colour of the room, green, red, spooky.
And of course, if your kitchen all gets along together, you're more than welcome to decorate your kitchen too. And again, try not to stick anything on the wall, but you got some wee spooky bunting, maybe a little dancing skeleton. Get that stuck in there too. You're more than welcome.
What's the thing you can do is sort of scissors and men, and you kind of cut it.
I know the paper chains.
Yeah, do like paper chains, but pumpkins or something like that.
Spooky, yeah.
Yeah, and also you could blue tack something to your window if you wanted, as long as you didn't push too hard. But yeah, you could put spooky messages on your window that people could read outside. You just have to reverse them, so you'd have to decide which side you wanted to be read from.
And inoffensive.
Inoffensive, yeah. Otherwise, we'll come and have a word with you.
So I think that's really good. Like, this person on here suggested that someone's replied saying Halloween may have gone hard commercial. So yeah, don't feel the pressure. I think that's a really good thing. Don't feel the pressure to do it. But its roots are all DIY. Go old school and make things. Construction paper bats, ghosts from sheets or trash bags. Which is interesting use of those. Also use cheap styrofoam coolers, a way better deal than what the craft stores charge for the other shapes. You can get 3 little headstones out of one cooler, just paper mache over the styrofoam. I mean, that is some
That's inspiring.
DIY.
That's an art
Yeah,
student.
Serious.
yeah. That they're taking this to the next level, and I love that. I think that's really, really good. I also think as well, like you said, just that the things that you can bring in, like the furnishing and stuff like that, whether it's Halloween or not, home away from home is so important when you come to
Absolutely.
university. So if it is your favourite bedsheet or it is your favourite, I don't know, like sort of rug or something like that, or a lamp or something, or photo frames with people you love, like they can just stand up, things that you can remove quite easily or move about. I'm just trying to think what else people could have in that environment. And I love the idea about bringing in DVDs as well, like
Yeah.
making it cozy by bringing the coziness into you.
Keep it cheap too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it in one house where one of them had a projector, so they'd project films. That was in the kitchen,
so
the kitchen had a white wall, so they'd watch films in the kitchen.
Get some cozy slippers, blanket.
Yeah.
We used to take someone's TV into our kitchen and play video games in there
Oh,
as well,
nice.
which is
Yeah.
incredible. It was so much fun. Yeah, just that community spirit. But if you can't do it there, you can go and use social social spaces across the campus as well, potentially, and outside to have that cozy feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's I know it's in Cambridge. I think there's literally a horror society actually. So they'll be doing their own movie nights as well, probably more than one, I should think.
And of course, in Chelmsford, it's the regular movie nights too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a spooky one this time.
Yeah, what's the film?
We know what it is.
We do we?
Somewhere in our head.
Yeah. We were very careful, like with these films, to kind of like choose ones that are kind of scary but not too scary. So
I want to say Coraline.
that was last year.
That was last year. That was a classic.
But I can give you the idea of the sort of film
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Free snacks too, free drinks.
Yes. Yeah.
In conjunction with the SU as well. Really super fun.
Yeah, that does sound really good. Another ghost-related one here. So nearly a month into our tenancy and still haven't heard from or seen our landlord. Dun, dun, dun. It goes on to read, "Hi guys, as stated in the title, we've been renting in my second year accommodation for about a month now. It's a whole month without seeing anyone. We still haven't seen our landlord and the place still hasn't been cleaned since the last tenants moved out, from what we can tell. Obviously, they're keeping their cobwebs up for Halloween, right? Should I be concerned or is this normal for student accommodation? After just moving out of halls, it feels weird to not have anything at all. Thanks, guys."
It's not normal to move in and have it not be cleaned beforehand. So that's not ideal at all. What I'd recommend actually to anyone moving into a property, even if it's in a good condition, is to take lots of photos. So of your room and the common areas. That way, if there were to be any deposit disputes at the end of the tenancy, you've got your proof that, say, if there was damage to an object or a scuff on the paint, and then you can say, "Oh, that was there before we came." For the property to have not been cleaned, that's not great at all. So yeah, you would want to contact your letting agent or your landlord, depending on how you found the property online, which website. Because we manage a property called a property listing website called StudentPad, and if it's a landlord through StudentPad, we've got some sway over how they act. So do come to us, the house hunting team. Email househunting@aru.ac.uk. Shameless plug there. And we can help you with that situation. If it wasn't for the fact that the house hadn't been cleaned, actually, if I hadn't heard from my landlord, I wouldn't mind at all. If anything, I quite like the idea of being left alone into my own devices. But yeah, you want to have a clean and well-presented property, paying for it.
Unfortunately, these things can happen. And going into the private sector is probably one of the more difficult things to do at university. I understand you're adult and things like that, but there's just so many cowboys out there. So we really want to stress that even if it's something that seems wee like this, like a messy house, it's not your mess and it's not your problem, but it is your right that the agreement is maintained. You sign it, but so does the landlord, and they're meant to meet that expectation too. So if you can try to get in touch with them, fantastic. If you can't, like Atticus said, make sure you've got records. And if the situation is ever worse than that, you can always escalate to the council too, and we're more than happy to point in the right direction to action that.
And you're more likely to avoid these situations if you are put in contact with private sector accommodation through our accommodation team. So through StudentPad, but failing that, use reputable sites like Rightmove and Zoopla, because there are other websites that anyone can put adverts on, essentially. And it's those ones where you're more likely to find a landlord isn't fulfilling their duties.
Okay, yeah. So I think the moral of this is if something does come up as small as cleaning or as big, just knowing where to go in that first instance and just not sitting in silence and coming and speaking to someone to find out what they can and can't dispute or what they can and can't reach out about. I think it's really important.
It's a good question because yes, otherwise you might move into a property and think, oh, is this normal? But it isn't necessarily.
And you don't necessarily know as well that landlord might have paid for another company to come round and do the cleaning, and they might be doing them a favour by letting them know as well. So I think always just having that clear and open conversation is good to have on here. I don't think anyone has responded to this particular one. So I mean, in terms of you moving out into accommodation elsewhere, what are some horrors to look out for when you're looking around, and some what are the red flags and green flags?
I think the biggest one, red flag, if they ask for a cash in hand, walk away. No reputable landlord is going to ask you for cash, so never ever go through with that. More so if they can prove that they have ownership of the property. So you can ask for things like gas safety certificates, for example, which they need to maintain that property. In fact, part of a duty on student pad is we kind of do this for you. We make sure all of these are qualified, but please ask yourself to make sure totally legitimate. Another huge red flag, no disrespect on these websites, but places like Spare Room, Facebook Marketplace is actually haunted. It's evil. Please avoid it. It's really bad. WhatsApp groups, make sure you maintain your search in the proper channels like student pad, like Rightmove, like Zoopla, that are properly policed. I'm trying to think of other big red flags.
A tip I've got, if you're moving into a property that already has occupants, students who've already live in a shared house and they're staying on and there's just one room available, and you're getting shown around, whilst you're in the kitchen, quickly open the fridge door because that will tell you what the house is really like. Have a look in the fridge. Things in date, things spilt everywhere, and if it's neat, then you're good to go.
Or of course as well, subletting is quite common. For people who might not know what subletting is, let's imagine somebody lives in a house and there's 5 rooms, it's just themselves, but they have a tenancy for the whole building. They can then themselves individually contract rooms to other people, but there's a lot of caveats to that, and a lot of people get scammed this way. They need permission from their landlord to do this, which is where the subletting comes from. Fortunately, a lot of times, especially in websites like Facebook Marketplace, these people will claim they have the right to rent these rooms. These rooms will be crazy cheap, another big red flag, and all of a sudden you've got bailiffs coming around the door asking for the rent because the person who gave you that contract hasn't actually been paying it on your behalf. So be really careful when you see this kind of properties that are really cheap, or someone saying looking for a housemate. Always ask them, have you got permission? Let's see it.
If you're not sure about an advert, you're welcome to get in contact with us, and we'll let you know because there's every chance that we know that letting agent, we know that landlord, and we can reassure you. Better than finding out the hard way.
Yeah,
spooky way.
That's very spooky. Basically, find it out. You don't want to be living in there and suddenly realizing that this is a situation now. Jumping back to halls, I'm just really curious to know whether you've ever had any phone calls because people want to get rid of spiders or something like that. Help me, there's a giant spider in the room, because that would be me making that phone call.
I've been working for nearly 5 years now, and I think it's hard to say a call that we haven't had. Like big spider, and we have gone over and have removed them from because that can be quite spooky.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had any other insects scarier than that. Have you had any funny ones like that?
It tends to happen more at the very start of the year, so perhaps when the tenants don't know each other so well, and then towards the end of the year they've made friends, and then you've got like assigned spider catchers and things like that.
Because I'm often wondering, because we have the Safe Zone app as well.
Right,
For spiders, I'm not sure, but yeah, we do have an app. So anytime you're on campus or nearby campus, you can. Security are just a button press away. They'll notify security. You can contact services.
Spiders seem like a wee issue. Even if you're walking around campus and you think someone's suspicious, or you don't quite feel safe that someone's in your kitchen, you don't know, could be one of your flatmates' friends, please press that button. Being part of university and living there is so important to your academic success, and we want to play a role in that. So don't feel silly for pressing that button, unless maybe it's for spiders.
Maybe don't press it. The Safe Zone app for spiders. But I could just imagine pressing it for ghosts and then turning up the ghost like facts. I wouldn't make.
I think we have the best job ever.
That would be really cool.
Get security one of those sort of fire trucks. Is that what they're in? They're in a fire station, aren't they?
Converted ambulance.
You've got me.
All I can think is of turtles, and my brain's going to a completely different film. Yeah.
Maybe we should Ghostbusters, the spooky movie.
Speaking of Ghostbusters, spooky movie, Scooby-Doo.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah, it's Scooby-Doo. Aye.
Amazing. I think just to summarize as well, just in terms of like it's getting a bit darker out there at the minute. It is, the weather's turning. We are in spooky season. It's Tonwall, soon to be Christmas. Great stuff. Are there any other tips about staying safe and in kind of this environment leading up to Christmas in your halls of residence, especially if you're going home over Christmas? I know I shouldn't be using the Christmas word now, but over that kind of winter period, if people are going home, any tips or advice?
It's more of a well-being sort of thing. If whilst the mornings and evenings are a lot darker, try to get out in the daytime. If you're then in the library all day and you don't get to see any sunlight, that would have an impact on me for sure.
I think it's kind of staying safe when it's darker. It's just silly wee things like checking in with your friends, saying, I'm going here, I'm doing that. Speak to security if you're ever on campus, or in the daytime when we work, but not on the weekends, come to our office, have a wee chat with us. We're in Cambridge, just in Hastings, and in Chelmsford, we're just in the foyer over there. And odd little things, like make sure your door's locked. If you've lost your ID card, tap into your room, let us know, stuff like that.
Bike lights are a big one if you cycle. So yeah, we're both from the Cambridge campus where a lot of people do have bikes, and I haven't put bike lights on my bike yet. But it means I can't. Yeah, it means I can't do anything after work. I'm just like, I better go home before it gets dark. Yeah.
Amazing, thank you. I think that's been really, really helpful. And I think the final tip to kind of leave on is if you do take that pumpkin back home to your room,
oh my God,
make sure it goes in the bin or in the food recycling bins before it starts rotting.
Yeah,
Well, that'd be really spooky.
If you do want to bring a Ziploc bag, or as like a Tupperware, you can. I've cooked them before.
Yeah.
So the ones that we use, it's the same kind of pumpkin. So yeah, pumpkin soup, pumpkin pie.
Last year we had a wee surplus and we donated them to the capybaras in Writtle.
Yeah.
So if you've got yours left over and it's not totally rotted, let us know. Maybe we can arrange that for you.
I didn't know they had them there.
Yeah, they've got holes here.
Well, if you've got a spare surplus left over and you're going to go and feed them, let me know. Tagging along to see that. Any other final thoughts from you both today?
Choose the horror movie in advance. I'd say. I don't like when you get together and you're like, what film should we watch? And it takes about half an hour to an hour, and then you have to go to bed. So yeah, work out beforehand. But that's what I mean. If you're getting DVDs from the library, then that's perfect.
Yeah, maybe like read a spooky book. I've just finished I'm Legend, and it's blown my mind. Not the Will Smith one, the one on words. So maybe try something a wee bit alternative. Read a book. Maybe go to like a haunted house or something like that. Get out a wee bit and see some stuff.
There are short films on YouTube as well.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah. Got good internet access at all of our campuses. So yeah, world's your oyster.
And of course, any issue, big or small, related to housing, come by and speak to us. We've heard it all, and we're happy to help with it all.
Yeah, thank you. And I think something. They're not scary. The least scariest things about Halloween are our accommodation team. So please utilise them and come along and speak to them about any concerns or worries that you may have. They really are Casper the Friendly Ghost.